If you're listening to this podcast, it is likely because you're currently being pursued by some sort of extraterrestrial, spiritual, or cryptozoological threat. You probably saw that this show was about these sorts of otherworldly abominations and reckoned it a place of insight. Unfortunately, the following podcast is entirely farcical and will be of little help to anyone. But you're here, so you might as well enjoy the show and pray that it doesn't find you.
Madeline, do the intro to the podcast. I'm too good for it now.
Excuse me?
I've become the ultimate podcaster, haven't you heard? My TikTok of Kermit the Frog telling kids to stay inside during quarantine has gone triple TikTok platinum.
Oh, well, you're still part of the podcast, so I feel like shouldn't have to do the intro.
How about you pull your weight around here, Madeline?
Just because you got some TikTok likes.
How about you be a good little stooge host? Why don't you be in your place, sidekick, and do the intro to the episode, much like Andy Richter does for Conan on his television program?
No?
Excuse me?
None for me, thanks. Sorry, I just, I don't care that you're famous, so what are you gonna do?
The fuck did you say to me?
I said I don't care that you're famous.
Your host, Aidan Kidd of this podcast?
Wait, I thought we were both hosts.
Oh, dear Madeline. You fool, you pitiful wretch! Have you not figured it out that you're a glorified prompter?
No. I thought maybe we could do the podcast as friends.
No, I don't think so. That ship has sailed, Madeline. Ever since you proved yourself disloyal to me moments ago. Now, do me an intro, or we shall never continue this podcast evermore.
Okay. Hi, and welcome to Lorefog with Aidan Kidd and Maddie Barr. I'm your host, Maddie Barr, and today I'm joined by my co-host, confidant, and babe in the woods, Aidan.
Me.
Who's famous now.
Your grand star and master of podcastery.
Oh, sorry. Let me take another. Sorry. Hi, welcome to Lorefog, and welcome. Today I'm Aidan Maddie Barr, and today I'm joined by Aidan, who's, what'd you say? Podcasting master, Aidan.
Yes, it's
there he is.
All right, there. So here we are doing a show, and I would just like to remind everyone that I'm very famous on TikTok now because of my Kermit the Frog PSA and my Carl Weezer ones, and they're all so very funny.
Aidan, we're all really proud of Aidan here because he got a whole 1 million views on his video.
Oh, it's 1.3, thank you.
It's really impressive because it kickstarted another video that used the same audio that got 2 million views.
What?
And they just would never have been able to do that without Aidan's sad, silly little 1 million view video. So claps for Aidan. Everyone's really proud of Aidan. You know, that TikToker thanks you for jumpstarting their TikTok career.
Oh God, my glory, my empire, humility, returning, grounded, relatable hostmanship taking form. I'm back. I'm normal me again.
It's Aidan!
I've learned the error of my arrogance and my hubris, and I am back to normal to do the show again like a human being.
Oh, thank God. I really don't like doing the intro. So many words.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's why I say them so fast, to try to get it over with as quickly as possible, and I'll get back to doing that next time when we have another episode to do. Because here I am, your grounded, favorite, humiliated, sad, lonely wretch of a stooge who hates himself and just wants to rot in a hole so bad. Oh God, it went the other way, Maddie. The shame has kicked in. It's gone too far.
No, Aidan.
I need
Aidan,
praise. I need validation. Oh my God, I got a million views.
Aidan, someone commented on a TikTok of yours and they thought you were the actual King Candy person who voiced King Candy.
Oh my God.
And I mean, they were probably 10, so what would they know? But they did say, is this the guy who voiced King Candy?
Validation.
Or something thereof.
I'm growing stronger.
You're a star!
I'm equaling out. Thank you, Maddie.
Sometimes when you draw the little animatics, You have a little fluffy hair, and that's fun. Boom. Boom. Feel better.
I do. I'm back to normal, and I am at no risk of any sort of impediment on my mental state. Alright, this is the first episode we've recorded since we haven't, I hate saying blown up on TikTok, because we haven't, but compared to where we were...
We exist on TikTok, and then we started gaming, because we're gamers now.
Because we're gamers now.
And now we're recording.
I like how I've basically become fucking Tommy to your Timmy when you talk about shit. I've noticed this while editing, and I just did it just now, where you'll say something and I'll just repeat it behind you, just like quieter. That's how you know we're true gamers, is the fact that I just made an Animal Crossing reference. Speaking of animalistic characters, Maddie, there's something I need to talk about.
Oh boy.
I was going to make an animatic based on our second episode of this podcast, when...
Shout out to the second episode! Go give it a listen, woo!
Start with episode 3. Stop making episode 1 the most popular episode, it's our worst one. Start with episode 3, that's when we started figuring this shit out. Episode 2 is okay, I guess. Whatever, I was gonna make an animatic based on part of it, but that's because it was this neat little clip that I could use. I was under a minute. But now I can't use it because of this. In the bit, I make a joke about furries.
Obviously.
And we say how doctors are ordained by God to assign babies at birth as a furry or not. And to do so, they use a big rubber stamp on the baby's head that says "YIF." And I thought...
I do recall this.
That the word "YIF" was sort of an exclamation. I've seen it used and joked about many times on twitter.com. And so I made that joke. And then when I was going to make the animatic, I thought, I should probably make sure I know how I'm using this word. And it turned out...
Let me educate myself just real quick. I'm sure nothing will come about from this.
That YIF is an acronym for young, incredibly fuckable furry.
Oh,
and I just made a joke about putting a rubber stamp of that on a baby's head. Perhaps the youngest and least fuckable furry possible.
Ooh.
So here I am making this diabolical joke, but then I dug down the rabbit hole even deeper, and it turns out that YIF does mean what I thought it means. It just also means the other thing. So some furries are using it as an exclamation, as I thought, and others are using it as this acronym. And what I have to say, furries, is that you've made a fool out of me and you've betrayed my trust!
How dare you, furries? Aiden's canceled himself.
I was neutral on your existence and you betray me! What I'm saying now, furries, is get your shit together.
Get your YIF together.
Get your YIF together! Get all of your young, incredibly fuckable furries in a room and just have at it. And then, I demand reparations. After you fucked all the incredibly fuckable furries, who are in fact young.
But like not too young. Young adults. Just like to clarify.
I demand monetary or societal reparations. I demand to be a high-ranking official in your, in your columns, in your newspapers, in your communities. Not that I am a furry, but as a checkpoint for the rest of humankind. To make sure that you're not stepping out of line. Or just give me money. Or just share this podcast with your friends if you're a furry, and then recompense has been paid.
Sure. Aiden's the link between the furry world and the rest of the world.
I'm much like the Avatar with mankind and the spirits. I command all the furries, all the oncelers, all the regular people, and the weebs. I am both all of them and none of them at the same time. I am God's mistake and his greatest enemy.
God has forgotten you.
I have been forsaken by both God and furries. Alright, what is this fucking podcast about? Let's talk about some cryptids.
Give me a cryptid, bro. Let me hear about a fucking cryptid. Or I can give you cryptid.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have the cryptid.
Let me be my own person.
You have them
here.
in that satchel of yours, your magic satchel that we always refer to as where we pull cryptids out of. That's always been established.
Whoa. Okay, sorry. Had to close the satchel. They were flying around. Well, okay, actually, I've lied. Once again, I've betrayed everybody's trust. because I said I had a cryptid, but this isn't a cryptid, it's just a question.
Oh.
But it's spooky in origin.
Okay.
So, somebody on Yahoo, and this is old, this is 7 years old, so I'm sure further research has been done, but I wanted to talk about it anyway, because it's funny. Someone asked, strange meat smell? ... Ghost? Me and my roommate have been experiencing something odd this evening. As weird as it sounds, we both randomly have been smelling an odd meat odor in our room, even though nobody in our hall was cooking anything. We researched and we saw that this might be connected to a ghost or a haunting of our room. Any info could help. Now I have a few ideas about this.
Lay 'em on me. I just had to say so many words before. I am so eager to let you just go off.
Okay, so first of all, perhaps this is a ghost. And this is their phantom scent, because somebody else is like, sometimes ghosts leave phantom scents around the places they used to be. So you might not have a ghost, but you used to. So Aidan, if you were a ghost, what would your phantom smell be? Because I feel like mine would be a combination of like, I don't know, my shampoo, but also like maybe some snacks, maybe some peanut butter. Perhaps a Girl Scout tag-along, because that's really like my essence,
Green apples and despair.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, that seems, that fits. That's, locked and loaded.
Because all I do is wash myself with things that are green apple scented and eat green apples, and also I'm sweaty and sad.
Ah. So like a sad, salty green apple. and you're like, that's Aidan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know that anywhere.
Yes, I know that smell.
I know that's
All
musk.
Right, well, cool. A sad apple, and I'm like a boring Girl Scout cookie.
What a pair are we.
What a pair. A beautiful snack for a day after out on the playground.
Just a couple regular snacks, the two of us.
We've established our phantom sense, but my other, I don't know, idea about this strange meat smelling ghost.
Yes, let's get back to the meat man.
Back to the meat man. Is this just like someone who's married to a vegetarian and doesn't want to tell them that they're cheating on their diet? Like, because they're like, we asked everybody in our hall, we tried to investigate and, no one said they were cooking any meat. But like, what if you were just married to someone who didn't want you to eat meat, but you were like, I gotta have my 3 a.m. bacon. And they're like, hey, are you cooking meat? And you're like, what do you mean? Am I cooking meat? Get out of here. Of course I'm not cooking meat. I'm a vegetarian. And then they're like,
You just blame it on the ghost. It's like blaming it on the dog for eating all the Brussels sprouts.
You've got like a secret, little George Foreman in your room and you're like making various meats. But your wife's like, honey, are you eating your kale? And you're like, yeah, dear. So that's my theory.
I think that's probably what's likely happening. What also might be the case is that this is just what happens when you have a meat ghost.
Yeah.
And you know what a meat ghost is, Maddie?
A ghost made of meat?
Exactly. And you know what that is?
Scary. But nutritious?
It's you.
Oh.
We are all meat ghosts.
Oh my god!
You're just smelling people, you silly gooses.
That's just people smell, you idiot.
You fucking moron. You fucking moron!
You buffoon.
Just get, really aggravated with it. How dare you? That's what people smell like. We all smell like raw beef. It's you who are wrong, not me. You're weird. I'm not weird for smelling like raw beef. You are. I'm normal. And I don't need therapy.
Meat ghosts.
Meat ghosts.
We are solved. Meat ghost, meat cute.
Big red stamp just like the Yif Doctor stamp, but instead it says solved.
Stop with the Yif Doctor.
He'll always be around. He'll always be haunting me, much like meat ghosts. Maddie, we're here in the middle of the show doing ads. We never do ads. It's rarity. We never have a segment in the middle of the show where we do ads, do we, Maddie?
No, I've never done an ad before in my life.
Exactly.
And frankly, I don't plan to start now, so. What you gonna do?
Wait. I guess I'll do all the ads.
Oh.
And it'll just be like that.
I guess Aidan's gonna do all the ads today.
Okay.
Sorry, I just can't be done, you know?
That's
Can't do
fair.
it,
That's
babe.
valid. Your feelings are valid, Maddie, and I respect that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And I'm glad we fostered a relationship where you feel comfortable telling me these things and setting these boundaries with me. I really appreciate it.
That ass real shit, me too. I mean, thanks, Aidan. Yeah, me too. I really think that it's so cool that as creators we have a cool relationship with each other. Anyway, Aidan,
Let's do ad. All right.
Tell us about stuff, please.
This week's episode of Lore Folk is sponsored by pyramids. The Louvre is a glass pyramid full of art, yet the pyramids of Giza are opaque. What don't they want us to see? What are they hiding? Pyramids. All right, and
Thanks.
wait, what's this? Maddie, we have something here. What is this? This is not our usual thing.
News, everyone. We have a real ad today.
What? That's never happened before, much like this segment.
Yes, someone, and this could be you in the future if you're out there listening, someone has paid graciously for a $6 ad, which if you don't know is one of our more fun and silly ads. And now we get to read it. So this episode of Lore Folk is actually brought to you, in part, by this person who sent in this ad. Aidan, what's the ad for?
This is an ad for, I think, just the general concept of Catholicism, but it is from our good friend Pope Francis.
What? That's crazy.
Here is his message to the people. Buongiorno, Maddie and Aidan. This is noted Pontiff and 6-time Beyblade regional champion Pope Francis, but you can call me a Franca. I've been a big fan of the podcast ever since one of the Cardinals got me hooked on it. My favorite cryptids so far are the Noodle Deer and the Money Sun Machine. Hey, from episode 8 and episode 3, not respectively, opposite order in fact. That said, I wanted to take a break from giving lonely sermons in the middle of an empty Vatican City. Hashtag quarantine sadness. I'm becoming vampire. The opposite of Catholicism.
Wait a minute.
As I Jesus Christ, I can't speak. Degrade, erode. I'm losing my sanity, Maddie. Pope Francis is flowing through my veins. I gotta keep going.
Aidan, read the ad. Someone paid for it, Aidan.
I'm
Someone
trying.
paid real money for this.
To address one of your most recent episodes, Maddie and Aidan, back to me, Pope Francis. In episode 9, you talked about Kentucky's Pope Lick Monster and how to gain legitimacy in the cryptid discourse. He should endeavor to lick the Pope. Now, I am no zoological expert. I am just the leader of the world's 1.2 billion Catholics. The model for 1 million knockoff bobbleheads and the guy who Jonathan Pryce got an Oscar nomination for. But I have a wild side. I am not your dad's Bishop of Rome. Of Rome! And if there's an abandoned cryptid in America's 46th most populous state that needs 11 support, I have one message, and you can consider me to be God's mouthpiece when I say this. I'm so there, girlfriend. I know what it's like to be surrounded by people who judge you and expect you to have magical powers that you don't have. I imagine your long trestle bridge over Popelica Creek can feel as empty as the catacombs of the Vatican when you've no one to share it with. So name your date, you man, goat, sheep abomination. I'll sneak out of communion when everyone is distracted by the wafers, or as Maddie calls them, the chips. How does he, Maddie, do you know the Pope personally?
Oh, yeah, me and the Pope, we've met before. It's no big deal. It's casual.
Okay.
I'm sort of the bridge between all Judaism and the Pope. Sort of on accident.
Oh, okay.
We ran into each
You
other
are
at
the
Starbucks.
ambassador.
It was like really quirky, like no big deal. We don't have to.
Oh, it was a meet cute moment. Oh,
Yeah.
you, the Pope, and the goat-like monster. That's adorable.
I know, right?
And I'll catch you the next Spirited... And I'll catch the next Spirit Airlines flight over to Louisville. The motherfucker rides Spirit Airlines.
Damn.
I'll even bring some of my press corps to make sure we document the moment of tongue-to-Frank connection. And the next thing you'll know, you and I will be going places, baby! I hope that means,
Like to a wedding?
I was thinking sexual actions.
Oh. I don't know if the Pope's allowed to do that, but... Maybe
Well, clearly he's
steamy
allowing
hand-holding.
him to lick some places. I imagine
Only the
it
holiest
could
of places.
progress. Maddie, it could
how-
progress.
How can you let a cryptid lick you in a God-honoring way?
How can I
Anyway.
be devout when all these Jezebels are trying to lick me?
Yeah. Finish the ad, Aidan.
Please don't leave me unread, the Pope like a monster. We both really need the companionship right now. You can reach out to me at PapaFrank69 at Vatican.gard. Hugs and kisses and licks, Papa Francis.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Pope Francis,
Thank
for
you.
spending God's money
Mm-hmm.
on that little service announcement.
Yes.
Glad to hear you're a fan. I hope
yeah.
it works out between you and the Pope like monster, and I'm glad we
Tell-
were able to be a part of that.
Please tell all the other Catholics to listen to the podcast, because apparently there's a whole bunch of them. 1.2 billion. Who knew? Not me.
Yeah, what's one cult to another?
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for real skis, to whoever put their name in as Pope Francis and bought this ad. Not to plug, but if you want to buy an ad, you can right now. Go to pnnpodcast.com and then go to our advertising tab, and you can purchase a fucking ad. And if you want it to be a fun, silly ad like this, it's $6. And if you have a real serious business that you'd like to promote, then you can buy a $5 ad. Because it's a discount. You know, business person to business person. Ooh. Aidan, I got a question for you.
Speak it with your face!
So this is a fun bit I like to do called Maddie's Cryptid Queries.
Yes,
and
we
usually
all
they're
love
about
the name and
real-
the jingle that goes along with it. Here it is.
Yes.
I probably just played like a fart sound effect or something really stupid there.
Good. Usually they're deeply tied to cryptids and very important, and everybody wants to pick my brain about them. But today I have an even more important question for you, Aidan.
Please.
And it involves two different types of cryptids. So here we go. Are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Oh, God.
And this is a valid question because it's werewolves and vampires. And honestly, with the new coming of the new Stephanie Meyer book, Midnight Sun or whatever, the Edward one, this is a valid question.
Is this where I bare my soul before God and all who listen that I've
Yes.
never actually seen an entire Twilight movie and or read a book? I have tertiary knowledge of the characters. I know who Edward and Jacob are. I'm fully aware, but
you can't pick.
and I know that, you know, well, that's the thing, is my answer is very obvious, and it's the only answer. Even with my tertiary knowledge, this feels like a given, but of course it's Edward, because one of them is
How
a fun,
dare
sexy,
you,
he's a fun,
sir?
sexy vampire played by Robert Pattinson. Of course I'm with him. Love that goth twink. The other one is a big old beef boy who fucking imprinted on a child.
Okay, but that part's irrelevant in the first part of the book.
I don't think so. That feels...
I mean, it's
I
gross.
feel, are we just
Okay.
going by first book terms, or are we going by the grand
Well,
scheme of things here, Maddie?
No, it's like a gut feeling thing. But okay, so you're Team Edward, bitch. All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Ride or die, motherfucker.
I don't have to cancel the podcast or anything. It's fine. We can have two different opinions, and yours can be wrong. That's cool.
What do you
Yeah.
like so much about Jacob? What's happening here?
Jacob, let me just, whoa. Okay, actually, let me preface this. I mean, don't dox me, but I'm from a location that's very near the Twilight location. And I actually didn't read the books, but I did see all the movies, and, you know, I was there. I was there in the moment when they were coming out, and you'd be on the playground, and someone would be like, "Did you read the new Twilight?" And I'd be like, "No." Anyway, Jacob is a real mortal being, okay? And he's not trying to turn Bella immortal so that she'll eventually still be around with her fucking weird teen human adult vampire daughter when the earth collapses, okay? That's all I'm saying. Is like they keep talking about this immortality, right? He's like, oh, Bella, we can live together forever. Ugh. And no one has ever, like, even when the sun explodes, like, bitch.
Oh, I see. You don't want to wind up in the empty void of space for all eternity just kind of floating around, unable to die.
At some point, all these fucking vampires are gonna 127 hours themselves into something that they can't deal with, okay? And Jacob would never let that happen.
Well, hold on. This calls into question whether or not vampires could survive a collapsing sun or not. And I don't know if that's... In the vampire rules, it's like crosses and holy water and wooden stakes. I don't remember it ever saying anything about the sun collapsing would also kill them.
No, they'd just get really, really... Actually, they'd stop sparkling, because the sun wouldn't be there anymore.
Yeah, there'd be no light or sound, and they'd just be like a vacant satellite of a human being. With your chosen family. It's about the found family, Maddie. We're Guardians of the Galaxy it up in here. We're not on the road with, you know...
It's not a found family, though. They're a real family. They're married and they have a kid, you know? That's not found family.
Yes, but it's still a chosen family, because they're not blood related.
I mean, technically, none of them are blood related.
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha, Maddie. Ha 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 ha. I laugh, I scoff, I jest, and I jape, for you have made the funny joke in the funny podcast. Congratulations, Maddie. You too shall now be condemned to live out the dying star.
Whatever. Okay.
The heat death of the universe shall come for thee. And there I shall also be also a vampire with my hot twink emo boyfriend. And I will also scoff and laugh at you then.
Nah, see, because I'll be having fun in the afterlife with my nice boyfriend who also can be a dog sometimes. You know, if we have kids, need to pull the sled. Werewolf.
Is that part of it?
No, that's not. Shut the hell up.
Is that Maddie? Maddie.
No! I am not a furry. On the record, on God.
We know who you are!
Oh, no.
Maddie Barr!
Uh-oh. Hey, that rhymes.
Answer the questions! Are you a furry?
I'm just a Team Jacob kind of gal. That's it. Although, who knows? You know, maybe my mind can be changed, because they're about to release all the books that's from Edward's perspective. And I do love that stupid, dumbass, goofy boy in the movies, because I don't know if you haven't seen the Twilight movies, you should watch them, because they're comedies first, and then romance movies. Like, let's just get that out of the way. Because everything that Robert Pattinson does in that movie is ridiculous and sexy. So, two elements comedy. Anyway, this bit's done. It's died. Cut it somewhere before we talk about furries.
No.
Rip.
I will have it placed on you and your heart. I will draw the attention to you.
Oh no.
As to get it away from myself. Ha 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 ha!
Damn.
See what I'm doing? It's all part of my evil machinations.
Hey, did you learn the word machinations from SpongeBob too?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, baby! Alright, anyway.
And also later in Shakespeare, when people like Claudius would be like, my machinations lie undetected. And shit like that.
Oh, mine was just SpongeBob. We also learned the word.
I mean, it was SpongeBob, but then I further understood it. I don't even think that's a line in Shakespeare.
I don't know.
But that's what I think of.
Anyway.
So somewhere in a dream, Claudius, because I often have dreams about Claudius, the villain,
yeah, who
the
doesn't?
scar of Hamlet,
Yep.
and he said that to me. I won't elaborate on the context, but it was pretty saucy.
You and Shakespeare.
I don't know if
Claudius.
this is staying in the podcast or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't
want
know
to
where
hear
we
more
are.
about your Shakespeare dreams, Aidan.
Absolutely not. Here's the end of the podcast. We did it, Maddie. We're here. Somewhere something might have got cut. I don't know. Probably all of it. Maybe none of it. We're but babes in the woods. So tell your friends about us. We got a TikTok. We got a YouTube. We started a YouTube series, Let's Play of the Legend of the Zelda's Minish Cap.
If you want to watch me be really bad at playing Minish Cap with moderately fun audio over it, then this is your playthrough.
It's the Let's Play for you. Hey, yo ho!
I'm getting better. I've been playing the game on my own, so I know how the puzzles work. Okay.
Yeah!
Behind the scenes, I'm not going to waste your time. Unless I want to talk about Avatar, in which case I will waste everybody's time.
We're not talking about Avatar ever again on that podcast. Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, because we also post all our episodes there, and you can look at some spicy artwork that Aidan made for our little YouTube videos. It's
and
us.
buy ads
doing
like the Pope did.
Yes, buy a fucking ad if you want. Talk about, something fun that you're doing, or if you just want to do a goof, jump in on a bit that we did. Obviously, no one's doing any projects right now. So, shout out to a friend. A lot of us are in different states than we usually are. Be like, shout out to my friends from that other state where I'm supposed to be, but I'm not because I'm at home because of a certain epidemic.
Yeah, you can pay us to tell a friend to go fuck off, as long as it's all in good faith and good fun.
Yeah, let me be part of your beef in a fun way.
In a fun, emotionally articulate way that conveys that you still care about each other and that you're just having a jape.
Yep. Or have us tell people about your TikTok or your YouTube. Are you a SoundCloud rapper? I want to know. I mean, I don't. Maybe a little bit. It depends if you're good. But if you pay me, I'll tell other people you are.
And then, look at that, the banjo music's coming up, because we have to acknowledge that at the end of every episode for some reason. It's beautiful.
Wow.